Well, hi, and welcome to Bringing It Home as we continue through the new City Catechism together. This week's question, number 8, is what is the law of God stated in the 10 Commandments? Obviously, there's 10 commands, but one thing we see in the law itself as they answer that question is that if there's a law, there must be a lawgiver, who is God, obviously. It reveals a number of things to us. One is that God is a moral God. There is rights and wrongs because of who He is, because of His very character spelled out for us in the law. We know that God is a moral God. Another thing that we learn because there's a law is that we're sinners. We don't keep the law very well. Matter of fact, I can't keep even the first command to love the Lord. The first set of commands, because I'm too selfish. Oftentimes my selfishness wins out and I do what is wrong rather than what is right. And so the law reveals that to me, and that's what the purpose of the law is, which Romans lays out for us. It's to drive us to Christ, where we recognize our sinfulness and our need for forgiveness that comes only from God. And so the law itself makes me aware that I've done wrong and pushes me then to Christ and to this, not just the forgiveness of sin, but the salvation that we find that's in Him. I love the fact that as the 10 Commandments are written in Exodus chapter 20, as God gives them to Moses, He says, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt. And so God has already made this people Israel His people. In essence, He has already saved them and then gives them the law. So He doesn't give them the law in order to save them, but because they're saved, He gives them the law. And it's the same with us too. The law isn't there for us to reach a certain level where then God saves us. No, God saves us and then the law takes effect. We have, at least in terms of how we are to follow it. And so as we grow in our relationship with Christ, we begin to follow the law, because as we grow in Christ's likeness, we keep the law. That kind of goes hand in hand, because the law reflects the moral character of God. And so as we follow the law, we grow in moral character. That's just how that ends up kind of working in our lives. I would encourage you this week to read through the book of Psalms, number 119. It's a fairly long psalm. In fact, it's the longest psalm. But it talks about the law of God, and the writer pours out his heart in terms of his love for the law of God because he loves the God of the law. And so I think that's a help for us in our lives as well as we grow in Christ likeness, and as we grow to love the lawgiver, as we bring it home together.